After the ball has been played, we want to encourage those players who are out of possession to really scan, to really pick up the movement of the opposition player, what speed they're going at, maybe what is their dominant foot. Hi, my name is Debbie Barry and I'm a Regional PE and Coach Development Officer. So today's session is all about challenging, and we'll be looking at a simple but really effective practice called Diamond Duel. This is a 1v1 practice suitable for those in the youth development phase, but it can also be adapted for players in the foundation phase as well as open age. It can be used indoor and outdoor. Because football is always evolving, challenging has become more technical. This requires our players to be more skillful to win the ball back and to regain possession and maybe start a counter-attack. The topic of challenging, I'm going to be focused on those players who are out of possession, and 1v1s are good because it gives us the opportunity to really get in and share more information with our players. It also gives the players more returns, more touches on the ball, more opportunity to practice and really develop those skills. The objective of the game is for the out of possession player to win the ball back. To set up the practice, we can group our players into 4 and set up our diamond area. Players will stand opposite each other, one behind the other, and the ball will start with the out of possession player. 1v1s gives us the advantage that they can be set up anywhere on the pitch, so it doesn't matter if you're working in a large area or an area with tight spaces. If you're working with larger groups of players, this practice can be set up across the pitch. After the ball has been played, we want to encourage those players who are out of possession to really scan, to really pick up the movement of the opposition player, what speed they're going at, maybe what is their dominant foot, are they in control of the ball, or have they taken a bad touch? This then affects the timing of the run of our player and the movement in terms of speed, angle of approach. And then we want to think about the techniques that we use when challenging for the ball. And whenever we challenge for the ball, we use 2 of those techniques. One is the front foot pinch, the other is the back foot block. A practice like this will really give us the opportunity to get in coach 1v1 and really talk about our body shape, our movements, and really give the opportunity for the players to practice those techniques. It also gives us the opportunity to talk in more depth about delaying, dictating, denying, or either dispossessing the opponent. Now, depending on what age group you're working with will ultimately depend how much detail you will go into. So for example, if I'm working with, say, under 14s, under 16s, I might want to talk about dictating or dispossessing the ball. Then we can talk about, like we said earlier, the angle of approach. Do I want to force my player out left or right? Maybe we're working on pinching the ball centrally, so I could even add more cones in this practice if I wanted, if that was a focus for me and my players. To progress the activity, we can use more of our players, so it becomes a 2v2. So same again, the ball will go into the attackers will come out and try and get to either of the cones. However, because there are more players involved now, decision making increases, difficulty increases, and it really gives us the opportunity to work on maybe our positioning. So for example, if one teammate presses to go and try and win and challenge for the ball, what position does the other player take up? Okay, and then this is where we talk about our 3 Ds of defending: our delay, our dictate, our denying, and dispossessing. So for example, if the player is out wide and gets caught, can our teammate delay so that our player can recover into position, to make it really hard for the opposition to get past us? Also denying the space in behind. We want to try and prevent those long balls, so what position can we take up out of possession that will really prevent that from happening? If we have odd numbers in our session, it can become a 3v2, and that poses another challenge. because now we have 3 attackers that we need to worry about. Or if we want more success, we can have 3 defenders against 2 attackers. If we add a 3rd defender in, there is an overload defensively, and therefore there might be more success when trying to challenge and win that ball back. To make the game more realistic, at this point we can add in small goals or pop-up goals. So when our players dispossess the opposition and retain possession of the ball, then they have a goal to score into. This session works well with even and odd numbers. If we have an odd number and we want more success for our defenders, we could add in a 3v2 in this side. However, if we want to pose more of a challenge for our defenders, we can simply overload the attacking team. Diamond Duel is a really good practice even for players in the foundation phase. We can make this into a tag game and add things such as bibs, so it becomes like a bib steal. The practice is also suitable for older players and open age because the same principles can apply in a function or a phase of play.